Hello everyone, welcome to the current affairs session of New IAS. So today we will be dealing with the topic government securities. First of all, let's see why this topic is in news. Recently, the Reserve Bank of India has said that it will allow the small investors or the retail investors with the direct access to government securities trading platform, and now the retail investors can directly open their gilt accounts with RBI and trade in government securities. And the governor of Central Bank or the Reserve Bank of India has called this as a structural reform. So let's see more about this topic. Now let's see what are government securities or GSECs. So government securities are debt instruments just like any other money market or capital market instruments. These government securities are also debt instruments issued by the government to borrow the money. So it is issued by the Reserve Bank of India on behalf of the government to borrow money, to raise investment from the people. So against the government security that is issued, the government would collect money from the public or from the commercial banks, and this amount will be used for various governmental needs and activities, etc. And the government will have a debt obligation for this. So this government security is just like a promissory note against which the government will have a debt obligation to repay it. So under government securities there are various type of the debt instruments, which includes of treasury bills. So treasury bills are short term debt instruments, which means that their maturity or tenure is less than 1 year. Presently they are issued in 3 tenures, that is 91 day, 182 day as well as 364 days, and they are zero coupon securities. Zero coupon securities means they come with no interest is attached to them. What does that mean? So what is the benefit that the investor is receiving? So here what happens is that there is a face value to each treasury bill, and to the investor it is given at a discounted rate. So there is one face value that is attached to the treasury bill, and there will be a discounted value at which it would be given to the investor, and the difference between this face value and this discounted value. So if the face value is 100 rupees, let's take it as an example. So if it is 100 rupees, then the discounted value, let's say it is 90. So the difference between this 100 and 90, that is the 10 rupees, maybe what the profit or the yield that the investor is receiving. And they are issued at a discount. We already said that, and redeemed at a face value at the maturity. And another kind of government security is the government bonds or dated securities. So government bonds or dated securities are long-term debt instruments. Long-term means their tenure or their maturity lies from 1 year to that of 30 years. So their long-term means it even extends to that of 30 years, and they carry a fixed. So in case of treasury bills, there were no interest attached to it. They were zero coupon, but in case of government bonds, there is fixed or floating coupon interest. So either the interest is fixed or it is based on the market rate, and they are paid above the face value. Another type of government security is the cash management bills. So cash management bills are just like the treasury bills only. So there is one face value, and it is redeemed at the discounted value. But the difference of cash management bills is when it comes to the tenure. So the tenure of the maturity of cash management bills would be less than 91 days. So these cash management bills are issued by the government to meet the short-term liquidity crunches or liquidity crisis and all. So the maturity period will also be dependent on what the government requires, based on the requirement of the government only. And there are special securities. So special securities are issued by the Reserve Bank of India for the companies as compensation for companies like Food Corporation of India or the fertilizer companies or the oil companies, etc., in lieu of the cash subsidies. And so that was various type of the government securities. Another thing is that in case of India, so the central government can issue both the short-term instrument, the treasury bill, as well as the long-term instrument, the dated securities. But the state government can issue only the long-term security or the dated securities, and in case of state government it is called as the state development loans. The another point is that the government securities practically carry no risk of default, because it is the sovereign's guarantee, it is the government's guarantee. So it practically contains of no risk of default, and hence it is called as risk-free, gilt-edged because it is high grade investment. So it is called a risk-free gilt-edged instrument. Next, let's see the current scenario. That is, right now, if the retail investors are allowed to invest in government securities or not. So currently, the retail investors are allowed to submit non-competitive bids in auctions of government securities. So they are allowed to submit non-competitive bids and they are allowed to participate indirectly. So how does that work? Let's see. Right now, the retail investors can access the NDSOM, that is the negotiated dealing system order matching through an aggregation model. So what happens here is that the retail investors would submit their bid or their demand for their gilt to that of the stock exchanges, and here the stock exchanges acts as an aggregator or a facilitator to these retail investors. So once these retail investors submits their demand for the gilt to the stock exchange, they act as the facilitators and they would submit this bid to the Reserve Bank of India in the NDSOM system. So as a mediator, there is a stock exchange right now and the retail investors are now investing indirectly only. So what change is going to happen? So what is going to happen is that the RBI has decided to move beyond this aggregator model and it has decided to provide the retail investors direct online access in case of trading in the government securities. So it has decided to give direct access to the retail investors. So retail investors, they can now place a direct bid in NDSOM system and they can open a gilt account in the e-Kuber system. So e-Kuber system is the platform for gilt auctions. It is the RBI's platform for gilt auction. So they can now directly open a gilt account in the e-Kuber system. So what is the need or requirement of the current proposal? The government securities market is dominated by the institutional investors, that is the mutual funds or the banks or even insurance companies. So these institutional buyers dominate the government securities market and they are investing or they are trading in lot sizes of about 5 crore or more. So those are higher amounts. They are trading in higher amounts. And when it comes to the retail investors who are investing right now indirectly, for them there is no liquidity because these institutional investors wouldn't be interested to buy such small sizes of investment from retail investors and there are no much retail investors in the market. So that is a challenge to the whoever or whatever retail investors who are engaging right now. There is a problem of liquidity. In other way, there is no easy way for them to exit their investment. So the RBI want to help these retail investors. It want to draw more retail investors into the government securities market. It want to encourage them. That is why it is decided to allow direct trading for the retail investors in the in both the primary as well as the secondary market with regarding to the government securities. But why is the government as well as RBI very keen to encourage or bring more retail investors into the financial market? So we know that RBI is the debt manager of the government and in the forthcoming financial year, the government is intending to borrow about 12 lakh crore from the financial market. So it is intending to borrow 12 lakh crore from the market, and when the government is demanding so much money, the price of the money, that is the interest or the expense that the government will have to bear for raising such a huge amount will be high. So the interest will go high and the government as well as the RBI want to decrease this interest rate because it doesn't want this investment to be very expensive to the government. So a method to decrease this interest rate would be broadening or bringing more people into the government securities market. So when the investor base is broadened, the interest can be brought down. So it is because of this reason that the government is encouraging or trying to bring more investors into the government securities market. And finally, what are the various significance of this move? So the first one is broadening investor base. So we already discussed that bringing another group of people, like bringing more and more retail investors would broaden the investor base. So that would be beneficial for the government. Then it would facilitate government borrowings. We also discussed that it would allow the smooth completion of government borrowing program. Another point is that this would make India or add India into the select league of nations such as the USA or the Brazil which have such facilities, and possibly India would be the first country in Asia to allow direct retail investment in government securities, and by this India is being able to open up another investment venue for its retail investors. So that's a matter of pride to India. And finally, the financialization of domestic savings. So whatever money that has been kept idle, if this money is invested into the government securities market, so if people come to know about how risk-free gilt-edged these security or the government security is, and if they invest in this government security, then this would help in the financialization of domestic savings. So that was all for today. Thank you.